the best worst podcast you've ever heard. And now, the Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty.
Ronnie and Bo again.
Yes.
On your radio.
Yeah.
No.
No. Wait a minute. Where are we?
This is the internet.
This is the internet.
Yeah.
We're
on your iPhone.
We're more
smartphone.
More broad-reaching than radio.
We're on your laptop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, about broad-reaching. Yep.
We're in your phone. We're in your computer.
We're hanging out with Alexa.
We're exactly. Siri. There are homegirls.
They're our homegirls, or they're homegirls?
I've never uttered those words together. Nor will I again. This Ronnie and Bo Show is brought to you by Prescott Realty. You can call them today for a no-commitment free consultation. Their thing is specialists. They're such good specialists in all these different facets of real estate. If you've got a heart problem, you don't go to a foot doctor. You're going to go to a heart specialist.
Kylie Elliott, John Rocha, Lorinda Johnson, Richard Hanna, and others working hard for you at Prescott Realty. PrescottRealty.com. They've been helping folks in the greater Prescott area since 1991.
That's right. Give them a call at 928-499-8700 or visit them at PrescottRealty.com.
So, Ronnie, what do you think? You always have to remind me. What is our topic, or what are we going to sort of talk about?
Our
interview something? Questions?
Yeah, we're going to do a job interview.
Just anything in that topic, in that arena?
Yeah, I think so. For the most part, job interviews, and in particular, I found a cool because
Do you have a job opening? Is that why you're doing this? I mean,
no, we don't. At least not for you.
No.
What
if I'm a great interviewer? Could I convince you during this interview to hire me?
We'll see.
Would you create a job if I really impress you during this podcast?
I'll run it by my supervisor as soon as we're done and see what he has to say, or she has to say.
I don't know who your supervisor is.
No, I don't either. So, yeah, we'll talk about job.
Right.
And I've got a cool job interview list of questions.
I've got a buzzword for you. Ronnie and Bo buzzword.
It's the Ronnie and Bo buzzword. Cha-ching. Do we get paid every time we say it?
No,
that would be cool.
Know. So we're gonna shoot this buzzword out.
Okay.
Give you the definition of it, and then we're gonna try to use it later on somewhere in this.
Sounds good.
Podcast.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, what is it? What do you got for us?
The buzzword is propinquity.
Propinquity.
What'd you say?
The buzzword is
propinquity.
That's how the internet says it. Propinquity.
Propinquity. Propinquity.
Okay.
Propinquity.
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 Yes. Propinquity.
What is it?
It's the state of being close to someone or something.
This one's going to be easy.
Oh, man.
So propinquity, the state of being close, in proximity, nearness.
Yes.
Is
close kinship even.
Okay.
Yes.
That's today's Ronnie and Bo buzzword.
Yes.
Listen for it later on in the podcast.
Yes. All right.
Propinquity.
Propinquity.
I just said it, so listen later on, so we got it out of the way.
Propinquity.
No, okay, fine. We have to say it again later on.
There we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, I've had some jobs that in the past where I've interviewed for, and they went very well, and then I've had some not great ones, and then I've had really hard ones. Actually, the hardest job I ever had to get was the tour guide at Universal Studios.
Okay, hold on. Before you go into that, I just want to mirror what you just said.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, have had some very hard interviews in the past.
Yes.
And then there's been hard interviews in present. And then overall, there's been very hard interviews in my career.
What you're saying is for you, the interviewing is not the Bo Woods strong suit. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You're making me anxious right now. I'm getting a knot just talking about it. I hate interviews. I'm the worst interviewee.
What is it about it?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
everyone says just relax and play the game.
Oh, yeah.
And I just can't.
Well, maybe that's it. You don't like to play the game.
I do in other aspects of life,
Right.
but I just can't, and I don't know why. And it's just logically, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Just answer their questions and just
Tell people what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. And it's just I go into every interview and I go, you have an opening. I'm a good guy. I don't drink. I don't oversleep. I can do the job.
Yeah.
What do you want? And that doesn't work.
That
approach
that's not
doesn't
enough
work.
for them.
No.
Wow. Well,
I had a job interview.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is just horrible, Ronnie. And I know I cut you off, but this is just horrible. And I don't even know. I should just get off the subject and let you do it. But I was in between radio jobs.
Yeah.
And I went to a job interview at LAX to be a baggage guy at an airplane.
Oh man.
100 degree, out on the asphalt,
Yeah.
throwing bags underneath
Right.
an airplane. I said, what do you need? How
Yeah.
sophisticated do you need
Exactly.
to do that?
What series of questions would they even need to pose?
And I just
lift
went in the
weights?
tank. I just went in the tank.
Oh, man.
And the woman said, we want to hire you. And I said, and you shouldn't say this. And I said, I got to be, and I'm already anxious. And I said, I got to be honest with you. And up front, I'm not good at interview questions, and I get anxious. I'm
Right.
telling her this in the interview, which is a bad thing to start with.
Maybe.
And she says, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Calm down. We want to hire you. We will hire you, she said. But you need to just answer a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So she's already said she's going to hire me.
Right.
I said, all right. Now, I'm a disc jockey.
Right.
And when you're a disc jockey, you go to work,
Yeah.
you sit in a chair,
Yeah.
all by yourself,
Yep.
with speakers in the room,
Right.
and a
And a
button,
microphone
and
and
you
a-
talk,
Yeah.
and then you play records.
Right. Right.
It's all you do.
Yeah.
You don't do anything else. You don't interact with anybody.
Right.
You're in a room by yourself. You don't do anything. There's nothing else you do. Have I driven that point down? So the
I'm
woman says,
understanding you so much better now.
so the woman says, so where have you, give me an example of where you've gone above and beyond at your last job. And my brain is going, I show up, I walk into a closet, I sit down, and I play music. I don't interact with anybody. I don't talk to anybody. How am I going to do this?
Oh man.
And this is what I said. I said, well, I said something like this. I said, well, I work in a room by myself, so I don't really interact with people. But and sometimes you're there at night when no one else is there. And I said, but at times you'll go to the printer, and it'll be out of paper. And so I will take the time to I'll restock the printer and put new paper in the printer. And that's where I went above and beyond. And then she said, give me an example of safety in the workplace. And again, I said to myself, I walk into a closet, I sit down, and I play records. I don't really have a good example of safety in the workplace.
You took the little spongy cover off the microphone one time.
Yeah, and that was very
And you were
unsafe.
pushing the limits.
Yeah, I spray Lysol on the microphone so we don't get colds.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and I just folded. I said, I don't have anything. I said, I can tell you this though. I said, sometimes late at night I go grocery shopping. This is what I said in the interview. And I said, and they're stocking the shelves, and they'll have those little flags out there, or the aisle will be blocked, and so I'll have to go around.
Yeah.
Well, why do they put those things in the aisle? Well, it's for safety because they've got boxes and they've got pallets and they've got all sorts of things, and they're loading, and they don't want people walking down and getting hit or run over by. She said, "Okay, that's a good example." And it wasn't even an example in my workplace, and I didn't get the job. I just get so worked up. Oh, it's
even
horrible.
after she
I'm
said,
getting anxious.
I'm going to hire you was the opening line.
That's how bad of an interviewee I am.
I had one horrible one for a church job.
Okay.
Where at some point in church interviews for pastoral roles, at some point there's a whole Bible theology grilling session, basically. Okay. Typically, it involves their elder board or some people on their staff that all know the Bible very well. And then they fire all of these. What is your take on the creation account in Genesis? Is it a literal 6 days of creation, or is this kind of what's your take on the end times? What's the order? Or, what would you say if someone asked you about what you do to earn your salvation, or can you lose your salvation, or is it earned at all? Or, and then you got to cite all this stuff. So It's not my favorite. It's quite unpleasant, and it's not my strong suit. But you have to go through it, and it's fair. It's fair. This is not funny, but it was just one of those where I'm over. This was an over the phone one of these.
Okay,
and so I'm on the phone. We had toddlers at the time, and I knew I couldn't do it at home, so I got in my car in our driveway, and I'm on my cell phone, and in another state on this phone line with this whole board of people that are just on speakerphone. Now, that puts me at a huge disadvantage,
right,
because I like to be able to see people's faces. Are they understanding, or
right,
there's no feedback, and so it's just like you're talking into this dark, black hole, and
you can't you can't reference the black hole or the abyss.
No,
in a religious interview,
usually not. There's some sort of implications there. So I can just feel with every question, I'm totally tanking this.
Now, are you being hard on yourself, or
it turns out
they're just not answering? They're not saying, "Oh, I got you."
I think it's both, because this is the worst I've ever done in any interview situation, and so they're lobbing. I mean, these giant softballs, and I'm answering, and it's the worst possible answer I could give, and all I hear on the other end is.
They don't say, "Oh, that was very thoughtful," or "Okay, I appreciate that answer."
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next question I have for you.
Nothing. It's silence. Even a couple of times where I've made a joke, and then it literally is, "Hey, are you still there? Hello? Yeah, we're still here." And it was just, I can feel myself getting deeper down in the hole. And then they asked me a question. What's your opinion on the emerging church? And that for a while was this way of doing church or doing ministry that was kind of a new way of doing stuff. But it came with some good stuff. It also came with some bad stuff.
Okay.
And so they were trying to figure out where I landed on it. And I'm drawing a complete blank. I had just, 3 days before, spent 2 hours in the presence of a guy named Dan Kimball, who wrote a book called The Emerging Church.
No.
And I couldn't even come up with any word or answer on what the heck is it, or what I think about it, and it was awful. And so I just said, yeah, I
Don't you hate that when you're just overthinking it so hard, and then
man.
There's like levels, right? You can answer the question great,
right?
You can answer the question poorly,
yeah,
and then you can not have an answer,
nothing.
You can see how this
Right.
is sinking, right?
Right.
And then below that level is, guys, can we? I'm sorry, that one's got me.
It was,
and being quiet is one step above admitting that you've.
There was nothing short of just. I started to laugh because
so
it was
tough.
that bad, and I went back in to the house after this whole ordeal, and I collapsed onto the couch, just face down, and just started laughing. And Anna said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "That's the worst I've ever done at anything, period. Not just an interview, but at any moment in my entire life."
Wow.
It was awful. And yet they offered me the job anyway.
They did.
I turned it down because clearly they were idiots if they would hire an idiot like me. But no, that's not true. But I did get offered it. But man, that was a nightmare. So I don't know. But there's some companies like Google or Apple or whatever. They're kind of notorious for having some fun interview questions.
I can't remember, but my niece recently, she's working in San Francisco now.
Yeah.
She came out of college maybe a year ago. I'm not good with times,
Right.
And she had to go. She flew into different cities to interview.
Yeah,
They were recruiting her, and I mean, I wasn't paying that much attention, but we were at a family event, and they said, how'd your interview go in Milwaukee or whatever?
Right.
And she said, well, they bring about 20 of us in to this interview thing.
Yeah.
And it's, we've got 5 teams of 4.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a cooking competition.
Yeah.
And it's not even. That's not
That's
even. But
crazy.
it's and they're talking about finances. It's a finance position or something.
But they're gonna.
And it's just a cooking competition, and it's to watch how you work with each other. And it's just.
That's
I mean,
actually
that's stuff,
brilliant.
Oh, I know, but it would just. I just collapse.
That would.
So this is what you're going to do to me today, huh?
That's what I heard that actually about. I think Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were casting Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I'm 90% sure that this is the film, and they both hated the audition process. Because an actor, you come in and you read lines, or and it's always you get this cold, stiff sort of thing. And they were also trying to figure out not just individual performances, but chemistry between other actors.
Okay.
And they did the same thing. They rented some place in North Hollywood that had a kitchen, and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy, these casting directors, they came in and then brought in Harrison Ford and Karen Allen and they just made a meal together and watched that.
Wanted to watch their chemistry.
And then cast the movie based on.
Were they laughing with each other? Were they bossing each other around? That's interesting.
Yeah, so cool. So hopefully this will put you at ease, Bo.
No, it'll make me more anxious.
Okay, let's interview each other on this, or just kind of see. I'm not going to go through all these questions, but here are some out of the box interview questions.
All right.
And so you're interviewing Bo for a podcast position. It's an unpaid podcast position.
I won't get it. I still won't get it. I still won't pass the interview.
About 50 listeners. It's a big deal. And so, Bo Woods, what would your autobiography be called?
Now, see, you stumped me right. See, this is what I do. So I go, you stumped me right there. If you give me a minute, I'll think about it, and then you just go down.
Yeah,
but see, here's what'll happen when we turn this podcast off. I'll have a wonderful one that I'll love, and I'll be happy with.
Yeah.
Hold on. What will your autobiography be called?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one for myself.
Won't shut up.
Oh man, yeah, mine would be Down and Depressed, the Ron Merrill story. I don't know. Yeah, that's good, a tough one. How would you describe this job to a child?
I think I could do. I probably can't do it enough to get the job, but I could probably do it better than the first question. No, so
maybe it's the same answer. Won't shut up.
So no, it's fascinating. But you say. You've got, but see, the problem is you're going to say we've got these microphones, and there you've already gone above their level. And you got to describe a microphone,
right?
But you talk and you record these little talks.
Yeah.
People asked us when we started this.
Yeah. What is it?
And I don't. No. They asked us. What's your podcast about?
Right.
And then people would say you have to define what your podcast is about.
Right.
I said no, we don't.
Yeah, this is the Seinfeld.
And they would just
podcast,
roll their eyes, and they would just go, "You guys aren't going to go anywhere."
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, it was like, "What's your podcast about?" And it took me a while to define it. And the way I would define it is, I said, "We're not talking about cooking, and it's not a card show."
Yep.
I mean, it's not a book club.
Yep.
And basically, it took us a while to answer that question.
Yeah.
But we have come up with the answer, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're just trying to make each other laugh and have fun and enjoying our time together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I'll hire you for that job and that answer.
And that podcast won't get out of the bottom 500.
We'll get from 50 to 51 listeners just because of that. What would your perfect murder weapon be and why? I want to know which company's asking
Hold on.
this
See,
question.
I would love to have been prepared for these
seriously. Well, I think maybe we should save that and do that because there's a whole bunch of these. Whoa, ding. That's a reminder that we have a buzzword to use in this episode.
Scoot over. Your propinquity is a little too close for me. Did we do it? Did we bail out?
I have such propinquity with your beard that it's... I might as well have.
He's sitting on the other side of the table, stroking his fingers through my beard. I don't want to say it's long, but he's scratching my beard.
That is correct
because of the propinquity of my beard to Ron.
Let me
the proximity, the nearness.
Let me have her say it again.
No.
Yeah, come on now.
Go ahead.
Propinquity.
Yes, propinquity. I have such beautiful propinquity with your beard.
You have closeness with my beard? You have beautiful.
Yeah,
No,
I do. I do. Is it gone? She's gone again?
Go ahead.
Did she leave?
Propinquity.
She sounds very angry about the proximity.
What kind of accent do you think she has? Is that a computer-generated voice?
That's not a very pleasant.
Is that a human that recorded into that, or is that a computer-generated voice?
I don't.
And if she has an accent, what kind of accent?
Propinquity.
Yeah, I don't.
That's not an accent. That's a computer-generated.
Yeah, I think so.
Voice.
This is a Google voice. Did they interview her with these goofy questions?
Yeah, that's right.
What I'm wondering.
All right.
And let's kind of wrap this up because I think we need to go back in another episode and let's look at these ahead of time,
Right.
and actually come up with a good answer. But as we part here, do you consider Monopoly to be a game that you play with friends or enemies?
Is that one of those?
That's one of them.
You and I have talked about the game Monopoly and the history in our family about Monopoly.
It's quite unpleasant.
It's extremely competitive, and that's why they put that into a question.
Yeah.
So, what was the question again? Do you consider do you play Monopoly amongst friends or enemies?
Yeah.
So, how should you answer that? Should I say that if you ask me that interview question, how should you? Not what can you answer? How should you?
Right.
If I said, that's interesting that you brought that interview question up. We played as kids, and my mom and my brother were very competitive, and they would end up turning the board over, and my younger sister and I would be crying. Would I get the job if I said that?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like somebody you want to hire, does it? No. Yeah. Do you turn into some raging?
My mom might get the job.
Yeah.
if she
calmed it down. And,
no,
healed
she was
everybody
part of,
up.
No, she was. She was part of the fire.
Oh man, yeah. I think you should answer. I don't have any enemies. I only have friends.
Now, see, you can't.
So
because then you're not competitive. I mean, you have to have enemies in business.
If this is some sort of sales job, then you go.
I mean, if you say I don't have any enemies, I only have friends, then they're not going to hire you.
Yeah,
because you're a goody goody, or because you get along with everybody, and that's not,
Yeah, you're not going to advance the company that way.
That's right.
Like I crush my enemies
There
every
you
time
go.
I play Monopoly. I dominate and pillage Vermont and Oriental Ave until they're bleeding.
I appreciate that answer, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to hire you here at the funeral home. Thank you very much. It's the Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty. You can give them a call, and they won't crush you. They'll help you. They're good people.
That's true.
928-499-8700, and you can call them for a no-commitment free consultation. They've been doing business in the Prescott area since 1991, and they can help you with real estate specialists. First-time home buyer Kylie Elliott. They've got Richard Hanna to help you if you're looking to build on a custom site. John Rocha and Lorenda Johnson can help you.
That is true. So you can give them a call at 928-499-8700. Email them at info@prescottrealty.com, or just check out their website, prescottrealty.com.
Thanks for listening to the Ronnie and Bo Show, available on your favorite podcast provider. Please connect with the Ronnie and Bo Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and RonnieandBoShow.com. Send comments to RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com. This is your announcer speaking. I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly.